Okay, this article needs a little bit of explanation, or at least a little bit of a box around it.
All right.
This is the gateway into my mind, right? As in,
This needs a jingle.
Gateway in my mind. I think I read it, and I wanted to create the experience of Nick reading something. Because I read this and I found it very funny.
Okay.
And then I read it again and I was like, this is just factual. But I wanted to get it a little bit into the mind of me. So I'll use that with sound.
Okay.
So this is the article. It's quite long, but we'll get through it. Maybe you felt it standing on the rim of the Grand Canyon. Maybe it happens when you think about the vastness of space, or glance up at the sky and marvel at a supermoon. Or maybe you feel it when you see someone offer up a seat on a crowded train to another individual that they've met. The emotion is awe. And psychologists say it can play an important role in bolstering happiness, health, and our social interactions. And it may have actually played a long-term role in how and why humans get along and ultimately cooperate with each other. That makes sense, because I don't have that emotion. I don't have the emotion. It doesn't work. She and other psychologists and neuroscientists who study awe to define it as the emotion we feel in response to something vast that defies our existing frame of reference in one area or another and leads us to change our perception of that frame of reference. It comes from one of the oft-cited papers on the topic published in the journal Cognition and Emotion in 2003. So it's awe.
Awe, as in AWE.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. And it's basically saying how important it is to experience this type of emotion that I don't experience, because it makes you more acceptable in society. It's how we respond when we see something new or novel that doesn't fit with our understanding of the world. Principal research scientist in the Emotion, Health and Psychophysiology Lab at University of California, San Francisco. The University of California, San Francisco. It's in California, in San Francisco.
San Francisco is in California.
Exactly. So why is it not just in the University of San Diego?
University of California, San Francisco.
Okay, like the borough, the subset. Fair enough. And it changes who we are. How experiencing awe bears on well-being. It goes into a bit of detail. One important distinction between awe and other emotions like inspiration or surprise is that awe makes us feel small or feel a sense of self-diminishment in science speak. And that's good for us, Stella explains. Feeling small makes us feel humbled. That's good. And thereby lessening selfish tendencies like entitlement, arrogance, and narcissism. And feeling small and humbled makes us want to engage with others and feel more connected to others. Basically, the sum of it is that it's good to be humbled every now and then, because it prevents all these different emotions. Other research from Stella and Gordon's team found that people who reported experiencing more baby Grand Canyon supermoon also appeared to have better immune health. In a group of 94 students who's reported to have more regularly feeling more positive emotion than negative, had lower levels of chronic pro-inflammatory cytokines.
What?
It's an interesting thing. If you feel awe more, you're healthier, your immune system's stronger.
How much awe? Just more.
Just more. Like, at least 3 layered over each other. Again, let's drive home the point that you don't need to take a flight in space or even take a whitewater rafting trip to experience awe. You can experience awe at varying intensities. Let's take 3. Listening to a moving piece of music, seeing a giant skyscraper, or reading a newspaper story about a local hero. Fundamentally, and this is kind of summing it up, awe is about novelty and vastness. Physical space might create vastness, as can someone's talent or someone's goodness. That's good. But you can also experience awe from negative stuff, kind of like natural disasters.
Yeah, look at all the natural disasters.
And that also puts things into perspective. So it's good to have negative as well as positive. That's kind of worked.
Okay.
So yeah, and then it goes on to say you can go and see these in nature. Just go climb a mountain. Just do that. Go out of your comfort zone, try something different, and look up. Look up from your phone is basically what it's saying.
Okay.
And also, lastly, have an open mind.
Yeah.
So these are all things that mean you're basically saying that people should have more perspective on things.
Yeah.
Which I think is something that I think we've kind of discussed indirectly. Is that people get a warped sense of self and a warped sense of what the world is.
Yeah.
Because they're not humbled enough by things.
Yeah.
So you can, let's say, the brownies underwater. Right? It's a good thing that they were selling cakes underwater and cookies underwater, and that they were still receiving custom because of it. Right? But if you decide that all cookies should be sold underwater, then you go, you need, your sense of reality and your perception of the world has changed. Now you need to see, should you do that? And you need to open up your mind a little bit more to kind of see it. It's basically the point of it.
Yeah.
It's quite a boring article, but when I read it, I just found it funny that I don't have the gland, and that's all I could hear when it was talking about
Yeah.
You've got an gland, haven't you?
Yeah.
When you see, which I tried to look up, it's cuteness.
Yeah.
Which is apparently specifically related to youth. Like when you see something young, apparently that's where the majority of it comes in. Like baby puppies. I mean, all puppies are babies.
It's the thing.
I guess.
I've never had
Babies.
I've never had it with kids.
What have you had it with?
It's always animals.
Animals, young animals.
Yeah.
Not old animals.
Well, no. Like
giraffes.
I don't know. There's some animals where it's like it feels weird to have that reaction to, like an alligator,
Like a fish.
Yeah, a fish. A fish. I've never. But yeah. No, but like yeah.
You said rats. You had like a close bond with rats as a child.
Yeah.
Like usual household pets. But ducks. Ducks, because I think ducklings are meant to be quite adorable, but you don't really see their soul. And I think the thing that I assumed it was is you can see their young soul.
Yeah, maybe a platypus.
Maybe a platypus.
Well, it's still got the bill, but it feels like it's
half duck, half rat.
There's more to it.
Right. Is a platypus half duck, half rat?
No, it's
half beaver.
Yeah, sort of.
It's a beaver duck.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of worked. In other news.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, the idea of having, the cute gland and that, I think I just don't have it, and I think that excludes me from experiencing certain.
Well, you didn't have it with your dog.
No,
and you bought your dog, and then you invited people over because you wanted to see how they'd react.
I wanted to study it. Like, how can I fake this when I'm under investigation? No, this is the way I describe it, because I've described it before. But if I see a baby, I can recognize that baby, and I can be like, that baby's a legend.
Yeah.
But I don't have pity for it, or that kind of, isn't it young? Do you know? I don't have the whatever that is.
I think that's the thing.
What's it meant to do?
I don't even know really what it is. I just I think you.
And I know that
you have its function, you just don't have it. So I think it's a protective thing. I think it's like you see, it's the act of seeing something vulnerable, and it's something that triggers you to feel protective over it. Now, you're definitely a very protective person.
Yeah, but I'm more practical than emotional, and it's probably the emotional side of that protection.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's specifically in that case, just because I go like, well, your emotional protection doesn't interest me in any way. Don't worry, I've got my prayers for you. Okay.
Yeah.
But I want a spear. If I've got a spear, I'll feel better about your prayers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I connect. I have a very close relationship with my dog, isn't it? We very much bonded and very much like a loving kind of thing. Like, there's a little bit of baby talk, but not really.
Yeah.
As in, no normal person would say that it's baby talk, but that's the closest that I can accept that that's as far as I'll go.
Yeah.
Which is basically, how's it going? Basically what it is.
That's how you
and
talk
just that
to...
excitement. Yeah. And when I've always had it whenever and again, it's the animal instinct, that love of animal instinct. Whenever I'm around a dog, I'll start to act more like a dog.
Yeah.
So like, if my dog sees something outside, if I don't think there's anything outside, I'll react how a dog would to seeing something outside. Yeah, basically,
through the curtain.
Yeah, and like look, hold myself on the windowsill and look through the window, just to confuse the neighbours, if anything.
Yeah.
But it's just connecting on that level with something. And I think that I don't know if I've never acted like a baby around another baby. So maybe it's just the human race that I have no empathy for. Maybe it's just animals. When I'm around a fish, who knows? I've never been around many fish.
Yeah.
So as much as I'm making a joke about the difference between awe and awe, is I think they both have the same kind of effect. So when you are in awe of something, like you see something larger than yourself and you realize that the world does not revolve around you and that you do need to be humbled and you do need to have that kind of perspective change every now and then, because it's the human process to kind of make everything about you and important so that you can get a job done. But you need to disassociate it afterwards.
Yeah.
So I think that's important that you do have these moments of seeing something that goes bigger than you. But I think other people do probably get that from seeing babies and having that reaction about, that emotional protection of that baby.
Yeah.
Or animal. Maybe they also get that kind of thing because then they get that emotional lesson from now that there's another baby in the world's a different place. And I have that, but on a practical scale. Now I need to get another pen because it might borrow a pen. And I need to be prepared for that fact.
Something to be fucking good.